All right, so today we will be doing something frugal that'll get us one step closer to financial independence. Today, we will be replacing the battery in this here JBL Flip 4 speaker. Okay, folks, so why are we replacing the battery in this here JBL Flip 4 speaker? How is that frugal? Well, I'll tell you, folks. The number one rule of frugality is to take care of the stuff you own. And under that umbrella, folks, includes DIY projects, which save you money and cost you hopefully only a short amount of time in the long run. So, the number one reason we are doing this, folks, is because it'll save us money in the long run and only cost us a short amount of time. So that is why we're doing this, folks. It costs me about 20 bucks to replace the speaker in this here JBL Flip 4, and it'll cost me over $50 to just buy a whole new one, right? It'll cost me over double that to buy a whole new one, when the only thing wrong is the battery, and it should be a simple fix. We'll find out today, I guess. Reason number two why we are doing DIY projects is because we will learn a ton of information that could be useful to us later down the road. So just by taking apart this here speaker and replacing the battery, I learned information that can probably be applied to any of the speakers I own. So that's reason number two why we were doing this, folks, because we learn a ton of information. And frugal folks like you and like me love to learn. Now, reason number three, final reason why we were doing this is because it's just a darn tootin' good time. I think it's a lot of fun, folks, to do DIY projects such as this. And when we are financially independent and or choose to retire, we might have a lot of spare time on our hands that we want to spend doing our own projects. And what better projects to do than things to take care of the stuff you own, whether it be household projects, which I will do in the future, I'm sure, or taking care of your footwear or other stuff you own just to prolong their life, decrease waste in society, and just make us feel darn tootin' good. All right, friends. Now that you've heard the three frugal reasons why we are replacing the battery in this here speaker, let's without a further ado, get started. So, in order to replace the battery in this here speaker, I bought this nice trusty kit from Amazon that includes a replacement battery for this here JBL Flip 4 speaker. In the kit, there's one battery included, and then a couple of the tools we'll need, so let's put them to good use today, folks. And just because you are my lovely viewers, I will be putting a link to this here kit in the description right down below, just for you all. So recently, over the year I've owned this speaker, I've noticed a severe degrading in the quality of the battery life of this here speaker. It used to last 3 days, the battery itself, but now it's barely lasting 1 day, and I can tell that really the only thing wrong with this speaker, probably the battery. So we're going to be replacing that right now. Now, with any good new DIY project. Suffice it to say, I have absolutely no idea how to do this. So step number one is to gather your supplies, the supplies you will need for the project. That's the prerequisite, I guess. The real step number one is to look up on YouTube how to actually do this. And that is what I will be doing and or demonstrating for you folks right now. All right, I think I gathered enough information to at least show you all the first step. And I'll link the video that I'm watching right down below, folks. Yep, I'm honestly watching a YouTube video, folks. And that is because everything is on YouTube these days, folks. Me, by myself, I'm not 100% confident that I could do it because I have no idea how the freak this speaker's made. I don't know how to take it apart, really. But other people, our nice friends on YouTube here, folks, they know. They've done this before, so there's no shame in looking this stuff up for yourself. And I would say it's really good and frugally minded of you. Really smart, in fact, to do this stuff, to learn from YouTube, right? We have the whole internet at the tips of our fingers. And with that rant, I will begin by first doing exactly what they showed me, and by first removing the cover of this JBL Flip 4 speaker with the tool provided. And what I'm gonna do is just go on the inside right here and push, pop out the speaker cover.
Bam. Yeah, I hope y'all see that. Magic here. It's right here in this little nook. Right here, just bam. Pop it out. Yep, there it goes. Right. Alright, now on the other side, same thing. Simple, right? How would you all know how to do this? I would have no idea if YouTube wasn't teaching me.
So I have no shame in showing you all how I learned this kind of stuff. There'll be people who pretend like they just already magically knew. Like half the people on YouTube probably looked at other YouTube videos, right? Me? No, I'm gonna show you the truth of how to be frugal and what that mindset is like. All right, so done. Now for me to watch and learn how to do step number 2. Alrighty, let's get started with the next steps. So, the next thing we're gonna wanna do is use this here provided screwdriver and undo the 4 screws on the ends of this here speaker. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what we're doing right now. All right, one thing that should be noted real quick is it looks like the screws just loosen and come out. They don't come fully out of the speaker piece itself though. So they just loosen, you can kind of pop them up a bit. And that's all you'll need to do. Folks, this cheap screwdriver is shaving. The pieces of metal are shaving from this screwdriver. Now that we are done loosening up those screws and pulling them out, next part is taking off the spine. So this is the spine. These are the 4 loosened screws pulled up. We'll just begin slowly but surely pulling this sucker off. Like I know what I'm doing. Pretending that I just actually know what I'm doing here.
And it just kind of snaps out. Good. Of place. Bam. Awesome. So.
We then need to take apart the end cap of this here speaker. The end cap that's opposite to the side of the USB charging port. So this end cap needs to be taken off. And there are, on this model at least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that need to be taken apart as well. So let's do that. All right, folks. This little screwdriver here from this cheap kit is driving me nuts. I couldn't do it, so I went and found some screws around my house. And I will probably just link the battery for you all and maybe a set of nice screwdrivers, because this one here, I don't know if I could finish this job properly with this here screwdriver. Another rule of do-it-yourself projects, folks, is to make sure you have the proper quality tools to get the job done and get the job done correctly. You don't want to half-ass your DIY projects, folks. All right, let's continue removing these screws. No, these screws actually come off, so take good care of them. All right, so now that the screws are out, we just twist off this here end cap. Oh, I guess we pop it off. We pop off this here end cap. And since there are 2 screw holes that are quite far away from each other, we kind of know how it should go back on, right? So just good note right there. How the flip do you do the next part? I don't know, this is what it looks like inside, so let's find out. Okay, so next step is that there are 2 screws on the inside of this here speaker protecting the battery and pushing it in. We need to take apart those 2 screws, remove the cover, and then bam, we can remove our battery. So let's take apart these 2 screws. The screws are really tight, folks, so I'm gonna enlist some help. Let's use one of these rubber things. See if I can get some more leverage on these screws. Real quick note, folks, you can lose these screws too. They do come all the way out. Just be careful. Now that the battery cover is off, we have the battery right here exposed. We can just yank it out. Yank out this here tab that connects it to the rest of the speaker, and then just pull out the battery. Tab yanked out. Battery. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Seems like my battery is kind of stuck in there, so we need to like, grease it or something. You know what I think it is, folks? I think that when these batteries get used up a lot, they expand, right? So I think it's expanded to the point where it's pretty much shoving on the entire speaker system. So we must carefully get this thing out. I'm going to use every technique available to me in order to do that, including vice grips. All right, folks, grab some pliers. Let's see if this helps. Holy crap, this thing's really in here. God, I don't want to be electrocuted. All right, folks, this is a battle to be continued. Welcome back. Last time you saw me, this battery was in maybe a little bit better condition. So what happened was, I was using these here pliers and kept pulling at it. Still stuck, but also it started to spark a little bit, right? Who knew batteries could do that? So, big warning from Young Money. Sometimes DIY projects are a little bit dangerous. So, make sure you only do projects well within your zone of comfort. Don't exceed your zone of comfort too much, otherwise you can end up being electrically shocked, especially if you do something dangerous, folks. So, let's continue. This, I don't know if you can see clearly, but it's going to be a bitch to get out. So, I'm going to try to go in from the other end and, I don't know, maybe push. Let's see if that'll work. So, problem is, on this end that I just explored and opened up, I don't see any battery access. So I guess I'm going to have to keep going on this end with this metal device and keep shoving it in and seeing if that helps at all. Do these gloves make my hands look fat? And yes, if you're wondering, it is nighttime now. And yes, I'm going to get this battery out. So, new plan. Looks like way back in this back corner here, that connects to the battery pack. And that is the one corner. I think it's just plastic there, so got this here drill. Let's see how this goes. Finally came out. Oh, with this freaking junk. All right, folks, that's the hole. I don't know if you can see me through it, but I can sure see you through the hole I just drilled. What I'm really curious about is whether this thing still works. So let's put it back together, put in the new battery, and see if it still freaking works. That was a freaking headache. Look at this, I'm sweating. That's how much work that was. Freaking chopstick, baby. Always does the trick. Made of wood, right? I thought this through, guys. I have metal ones. I chose the wood one. You know why? Because freaking that thing can shock you. Screw that. All right, so with that, battery is out. New battery from the kit. Slides right in there. Look at that. I don't need to freaking tug it out with all that crap. God. It only goes in one way and connects. Bam. It's connected, solidly connected. Let's put on those end caps, baby. Oh my goodness. It's hot in here. Let's put this battery cover back in place. Don't forget to do that. Pretty as could be. Last speaker cover. There are those 4 screws we undid. Must be redone. All right, so now that we got both speaker covers in place. Next, it's time to put back on that spine. If you are, like me, and somewhat bad at forgetting steps, then you may want to watch this video again. Maybe skip the part where I'm taking out that battery. Screw back in those screws that you unscrewed. Last but not least, folks, put on the cover. All right, folks, you ready for this? Moment of truth. Holy shit. Can't believe that worked. I got the song for this.
I have problems with anything, I can just say, hey Google, and it wants to help.
Why are there always ads on YouTube? Yeah! This is the song. Alright, folks. Thank you for those of you who followed along with me through that arduous journey. Sometimes DIY things, they go smoothly, and I thought today's would go really smoothly, but sometimes they go the way it just went today. Takes some persistence, takes a drill, and maybe even some pliers, but I gotta say, folks, even though it was hard and it sucked at times, and there was some sparks, there are definitely some sparks, so folks, don't do this at home. Warning right now, playing with tools such as this, it's dangerous. Don't do it unless you're under adult supervision and or you're comfortable with those kind of tools. So, with all that, folks, it was fun. I got a working speaker, and I'm probably not going to do that again, but hopefully I won't ever have to. This one new battery should hopefully last long enough. And I saved myself what? Probably about 80 bucks on a new speaker, and spent, 20 bucks and a couple hours of having fun and drilling crap. Sounds like a good trade to me, folks. All right, that's it for me, folks. I'm gonna enjoy my decked out speaker. Watch out for more DIY projects. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up below. If you want more content like this, please consider subscribing. Smashing that subscribe button right down there, folks. Right down there for you to smash. Whether you liked this video or not, please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you want to change something. Let me know if I could remove that battery in a smarter way besides drilling a hole through the back. Frugal isn't a choice, folks. It's a lifestyle. Remember that, folks. And I'll catch you next time on Young Money. Take care now.